The next 4 minutes, imagine you are the solitary human being capable of solving the world's problems, that the pressures of climate change, poverty, and global inequality are your sole responsibility. What do? When Jonathan Sacks, Chief Rabbi of the United Hebrew Congregations of the Commonwealth, stated that life is God's call to responsibility, he spoke to that omnipresent question of man's purpose in life. First outlined in Exodus, the Aseret Hadibrot, the 10 Commandments are seen as the most literal embodiment of a covenant made between the Jews and God. The biblical guidelines laid down for man to lead a just and therefore responsible life. But more than simply a Jewish covenant, they speak to centuries of religious, philosophical, and ethical teachings, known as the Golden Rule, or the ethic of reciprocity. In Judaism, this philosophy is known as Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your fellow human being as you love yourself. The responsibility God endowed upon us, the simultaneous obligation and gift, is to accept the fate of humanity as the fate of ourselves, and therefore for all our actions not to be in service of only ourselves, but of our communities. This is God's call to action, to accountability, to tikkun olam, to repair the world. The Hebrew phrase, ger hagar b'kirbecha, roughly translates to respecting the rights of minorities and providing them with equal opportunity and representation within society. However, even within Australia, we face difficulties confronting this reality. The Northern Territory Intervention Program, which sought to protect Aboriginal children from alleged cases of sexual abuse and neglect, required the suspension of anti-racial discrimination laws in order to maintain its basic legality. The Jews, God would say, have responsibility to protect those more vulnerable than themselves. But more than simply because of my religion, but because I am a human, because I am an Australian, I have as much a responsibility as Tony Abbott or God or you to stand up against these injustices. What some may call karma, mitzvot, or morality is the reality of the commitment we all bear to our fellow man and earth. Shichror Avadim is the mitzvot which concerns itself with the abolition of slavery. But the Nike shoes you're now wearing, the iPhone you feel vibrating in your back pocket, the beans your Nespresso machine turns into liquid morning, were built, branded, and harvested on the backs of the 30 million slaves who are still enslaved globally today. Similarly, Shnat Shmitah is a halachic law that mandates all agricultural land be left fallow on the 7th year. Evidence of a different kind of responsibility God calls for. Because without a land upon which to stand, the rights we do so for are worthless. And yet, every 20 minutes, a species will go extinct. When God's ark saved every animal, Noah made a promise that he would protect them, that we would protect them. But in the face of war and famine, elections, and our Saturday night plans, the extent to which we are indebted to our environment is forgotten, because to contemplate saving it is too monumental for a single mind to comprehend. What is our God calling us to do? What is our duty? Is stopping the myriad dangers that face our society our burden? While I cannot speak for God, or even Rabbi Sacks, in my mind, we all must act as though we alone can change the fate of humanity. Because if, according to the Talmud, whoever saves a life is considered to have saved the whole world, then a responsibility of doing so rests upon each and every individual. Your 4 minutes are up. What do?